Welcome back to the Brotherhood of Men, guys. My name's Andy R, and today I want to talk to you about something super important if you want a better outcome in your life, and that is rich in private and poor in public. Nice simple catchphrase, isn't it? Rich in private, poor in public. What does it mean? Do you know, I've seen so many posts, so many tweets, so many Instagram posts, so many videos of guys constantly complaining that all women are gold diggers. Really? Come on. You know in your own life that's not true. Is your mother a gold digger? Is your grandmother a gold digger? Is your sister a gold digger if you have one? Are all of your friends that you know and happen to be female, or all of your work colleagues you know who happen to be female, are all of them gold diggers? Can you honestly put your hand on your heart and say they're all gold diggers? If so, that's pretty sad, but let's be honest, that's not the truth. The truth is that you guys who say that are constantly attracting gold diggers. Why? Because you're trying to act rich in public. These same guys are the ones that will max out as big a loan as they can get to buy themselves a car that they can ill afford to run, barely afford to put the petrol or diesel in it. They're going out and buying as new a Mercedes, Jaguar, a BMW as they can to project an image of wealth. Wealth you probably don't have. These are the same guys that have to be dressed head to toe in the latest designer gear, spending more than they need to on clothes because they want to look rich in public. These are the same guys who are maxing out their credit card to buy a watch that tells the time the same as a cheap watch, but just because it's got the right bling value they can rattle around. So the image that you're projecting is that you have wealth. And guess what? Gold diggers are attracted to wealth. So the women you're attracting are the ones who want the wealth they think you've got, which you don't. Because the truth of the situation is that you've ended up with a massive amount of debt, loans to pay, credit cards to pay off, and you're working your socks off, terrified of losing your job because you put yourself in a weak position, because if you lost your job, that whole house of cards collapse. And most of the money that you're earning from your job is just to service loans you didn't need to take out to buy things you don't need. And then you wonder why you're attracting gold diggers. Because you're putting out the image that you have gold, and you don't. All you've done is made yourself poorer. In your life, in every aspect of your life, you've made yourself poorer by trying to act rich. In truth, if you'd just bought a run-of-the-mill car that was reliable and comfortable, because let's be honest, most modern cars now, I'd struggle to find a really terrible car. Not like it was 30 years ago. There were certain brands of car that were absolutely fantastic and certain brands of car that you wouldn't touch with somebody else's wallet. But nowadays, most cars are reliable and comfortable, unless you get down to the really small cars, which are just cramped and clunky. But you can see where I'm going with this. If you'd have bought more within your means, you see, the best way to buy anything is have a price that you're prepared to pay and then get as much for that price as you can. So that means if I say I have got X amount of money to buy a car, I go out then and find the newest, so less likely to have problems with it, most reliable, most comfortable car I can afford in that money. What the guys who are complaining about gold diggers are, is they're going out and will literally almost put themselves into bankruptcy to buy a car that they can't comfortably afford, and in actual fact end up rarely being able to drive it because it costs so much for the insurance or to put fuel in it and everything. you end up with an asset that you think is an asset that you can't use. It's got a depreciation on it as well. Cars depreciate massively. So why would you do that? You've got huge credit card bills now to buy a watch that I've got a £5 watch. It took my rights on the one I wear for work, but it tells the time exactly the same as a £35,000 Rolex. It's no more or less accurate. Do you see what I'm trying to get at? If you're projecting an image of wealth and then are complaining about women who are attracted to wealth, gold diggers, and that relationship's never going to work. It's a self-fulfilling prophecy. You're complaining that all women out there are gold diggers. You're attracting gold diggers because you're projecting an image that's, quite frankly, is a lie. That relationship doesn't work because either the woman realizes really quickly that you don't have the resources she's looking for, so there dumps you, or you start complaining because you're putting yourself even in more debt trying to keeping up with this gold digger, until in the end you dump her and say she was only after me for what I could supply. It's a self-fulfilling prophecy. So you end up believing your own nonsense, saying the world's full of gold diggers, when you know, even in your own life, some women you know, or maybe the majority of the women you know, are just not gold diggers. So this is why I say rich in private, poor in public. If you don't seem to have all of these material things that show that you're some flashy playboy, mansion owning, jet set lifestyle that you're trying to pretend you have, if you're not showing that image that you're just a normal guy who's got a normal car, and the truth is that you've actually got more money because you're not trying to feed these loans that you didn't need and are now desperate in your job to keep every tiny penny pinching. You can't breathe for the debt that you've buried yourself under to project an image that you don't really have. If you just bought the normal car, the normal watch, the normal clothes, now you've got more ready cash about you. But you're not going to attract gold diggers. You might actually find that the women that you attract are actually worth something, that they actually are attracted to you for you. Are you so shallow? Have you got so little going on for yourself that you can't see your own value? That you think you have to project this image to have a chance with any woman? That's nonsense. And if that's true, the women aren't the problem. You need to sort yourself out. You need to get a better outcome for you by changing you. And what have you got to lose by losing all of these trappings? You're going to end up losing the debt you've got, which just frees you. In fact, I can't think of anything negative that you would lose. You would gain so much. You'd gain financially. If you were trying to get into a relationship, you'd end up with a woman who actually values you, not what you can supply for her. You'd stop attracting gold diggers because you would be not advertising the fact that you supposedly have gold. I did a video just recently. If you didn't watch it, go and watch it, which was Who Are the Greatest Liars, Men or Women? And in that I was saying about how women project an image of themselves, which is a lie, constantly. You don't even have to talk to them. They've already projected an image that's a lie. Well, you're as bad as those women if this is you. You need to change yourself so that you can get a better outcome. Constantly saying that all women are gold diggers, one, is just plain not true. Because if it was, there just wouldn't be any relationships between men and women. No, it's just plain not true. What is true is that you, if you were doing this, are trying to project an image of yourself as somebody who has gold, and therefore all you're attracting are gold diggers. Instead of projecting an image of yourself that is honest and then getting an honest outcome in a relationship, because any woman who picks you then needs to be honest, needs to know that, hey, and when I say rich in private, I literally mean that. Behind your closed doors, that's where your wealth is. Your wealth is in your comfort, your home. If you live on your own, you've got a great TV, you've got a great fridge, you eat great food, you sit on a great settee, you've got a really comfortable bed, you've got the trappings of what you want in your bachelor life, in your single life, things that make you comfortable, your riches. But the moment that you step outside of that door, you just look like anybody else. Nobody needs to know what you've got. Stop it. Make your money work for you. What do I mean by that? Okay, you need a car. Buy the car that you need, not the car that you hope to achieve genuinely one day. Buy something that's reliable and comfortable. Something that you can rely on. Jump in and start it. It's never going to give you problems. Buy as much car as you can for the money you're prepared to spend for it. Not what you think you should be driving, but what you can actually afford to drive. Then any spare money you've got, use it to improve your situation. If you think you're less than academically bright, improve your education. There are plenty of night schools out there, and some of them free, that will help you improve your education, help you improve your qualifications, so that you can now get a better paid job and start getting the outcome that you want. But that's never going to work if you're buried in debt because you're making poor decisions on erroneous information. I need to have all of these things to attract a woman. No, you need all of those things to attract that type of woman, a gold digger. And then when it all falls apart again and you're even more in debt, you turn around with your self-fulfilling prophecy going, oh, it's all gold diggers out there. Well, it is if that's all you're attracting, because you weren't honest. You weren't honest with yourself and you weren't honest with the women. So don't expect any other outcome other than what you self-professed for yourself. You set out for that outcome and it was a poor outcome. You get the opportunity to change your outcome. And the first step in that is at least be honest with yourself. Because if you can't be honest with yourself, how are you going to be honest with anybody else? You can't base a relationship, any relationship, on lies. Just doesn't work. You can't do it. Anyway, my name's Andy R. This is the Brotherhood of Men, and I will talk to you guys soon, because I'm off for a cup of tea, because I think I've earned it. Hey, if I've earned your subscription, please hit the subscribe button. Don't forget to hit the bell icon. That way you don't miss out on future content. And boy, are you going to get some future content. This one might have been uncomfortable for a few of you guys because you realise that I'm calling you out on it. But that's what this channel's about. It's for a better outcome for you. And you're never going to get a better outcome unless you start changing your life to get the better outcome. So yeah, if I've earned your subscription, please hit it. Don't forget to hit the like button. That helps the channel loads. Also, give me a comment. Tell me, am I talking out my backside? Or am I being genuine? Is this really what's happening? Anyway, I'll talk to you soon. Like I say, I've earned a cup of tea. I'm going. And I'll talk to you soon. Bye now.